listeners, to another fabulous and miraculous ToddCast. Hey, these things are so miraculous because it really is a miracle that I can get any of them done. So what are we up to today? We are in the cellar racking or siphoning off 5 gallons of our best Zinfandel for the Paso Robles Wine Country Alliance collaborative blend, which will be auctioned off in, the third weekend of March 2010. So what happens here is all the wineries that make Zinfandel that belong to the Alliance contribute 5 gallons of their very best Zinfandel to make a one-of-a-kind blend that you can only get here. So this is my contribution. I'm giving up the equivalent of 2 cases of wine in this beautiful little arrowhead jug, which arguably I would really like to take back to the tasting room, put in the water cooler, and just tap this thing off for the next couple of weeks. But of course, probably nothing would get done, and Al and I and whoever came into the tasting room would be pretty much useless. So as I fill these things up, what am I doing? I'm going to fill up these little sample bottles here with a little bit of extra wine. So, maybe I want to taste some, but really what we're going to do here is try to make a blend. Because see, in 2008, we made 2 different Zinfandels. I got 2 tons of fruit from the east side of Paso and 2 tons of fruit from the west side of Paso. This is our west side Paso wine here. This is the Gopher Gulch Vineyards. What a name, huh? I can't even say it barely 1 time fast, but let alone 3 times fast. So what we've done is we filled up the arrowhead jug here all the way to the top, as you'll notice, so no oxygen's in there. And then to keep things clean, I'm going to empty out the hose into the beaker. And for quality control, we're just going to make sure that the wine smells okay. And maybe we'll just see if it tastes okay. And if it tastes okay, I have a tendency to want to perhaps kill the whole sample. Now, mind you, this is only in a beaker, not a Riedel glass, but it seems to be okay to me. So we're going to cap this baby off. There's no oxygen in the headspace of the arrowhead jug. And we're going to take it down to Rhoda Winery. Rhoda, the winemaker, is the blend master this year. So they get the honor of putting together the samples from probably about 100 different wineries to make the collaborative blend. But we've got this problem. We got 5 gallons of air in that barrel. So I'm going to use the Zinfandel 08 from Creston Hills Vineyard from this variable tank. And it's a variable tank because it has a floating lid inside. And this tank, even though it can hold about 55 gallons of wine, I use when I don't have a full barrel. It never works out to where you fill all your barrels completely full. There's always something left over. So these little tanks are super handy to have. And I only had 6 barrels of the Gopher Gulch Vineyards. And so I've got to top it off with something else. And it's best to top it off with a similar kind of wine. And in this case here, we have another Zinfandel from the same year. However, it's from the west side vineyard. So as you can see, I'm pretty lazy here. I use a forklift to gravity feed wine from the tank to the barrel. And this is a pretty convenient way to move wine without using a pump and introducing a whole bunch of air. In fact, the little lid inside that tank is going to float down as we empty the tank into the barrel. So what do we got here? We're going to, obviously just feed the tube into the barrel, and we want to top this thing off to where there is 0 air inside the barrel. So we'll get it just right. I have a little mag light, one of those little flashlights. Every winemaker has one of these things. In fact, we probably have about 8 of them. It's one of the typical tools of the trade. Barrels are really dark. We're always looking inside to make sure they're clean, make sure they're topped off, make sure there's no problems. And we're on our way here. So once I got it filled all the way to the top, we turn this thing off. And if I'm smart, I will save enough wine in the hose, fill up another little beaker, and we'll take ourselves another little taste. So there we are. We're completely topped off. The wine is all the way to the top of the bunghole. And we will go ahead and take the little rubber stopper or the bung and get that pressed back in there and put this barrel back to rest. Make sure that it's aging properly. We'll probably bottle it up in about another 6 months or so. I like to age this in about 18 months. Some winemakers will go about 12 months, bottle it, and then let it sit in the bottles for 6 months or so. I really think the Zin can benefit from a little bit more time in the barrel. So here we are. We're going to check the Crescent Hills Vineyard. Again, this west side fruit, this is east side fruit in Creston. Really, if you know our Zinfandel, you know this. It's very raspberry, blackberry. It's kind of light in color, but just very flavorful. And my thought is that I would get 2 tons from the west side, 2 tons from the east side, and ultimately blend them together. So I'm going to take a sample off of this tank, and I will put it together into beakers and graduated cylinders, and later we'll blend them back and forth and see if both these wines will play well together and make a really nice, rich, complex blend. So we're capping off this little bottle here, and really all we have left to do is obviously drink more, because why else get into this business if you can't taste on the job. So we're pretty much done now. I just have to clean up the side of the tank here, because when the lid comes down, there's still some residue of wine on the side of the variable tank, and we'll get that taken care of here. And all we have left to do is to pump up the little inner tube that goes around the lid of the tank, and that creates the seal to make sure that no air gets in the tank. So this is how we do it. It's really quite simple to draw 5 gallons of wine. I've edited this down considerably. It probably took me a good couple hours, because you got to pull your barrels out of the racks, get the tank down, get everything moved into place. Nothing goes fast, but as you can see, the inside of the variable tank is all nice and clean. The lid is sealed, and we are done. So thanks for watching, and until next time, cheers to you.